just can't maintain.
Herbert will float it right side. It is Parham. Did he catch it? He did.
Definitive right there. Let's check it out here. Oh, that is an incomplete pass. Two
incompletions. The ruling on the field has been changed. The receiver did not maintain control of the ball throughout the process of the catch. It's incomplete. Game over.
I'm our biggest corner, so in my mind, I'm like, look, I got to either make this play or this is going to be the game. So, I did whatever I could to make the play for the team. And initially, he was so tall that I couldn't get my hands on the ball when he initially caught it. But coming down, I knew if I could rake it out, then we could, possibly win the game.
And boy, did they win the game. What a finish for the Raiders. A last-second overturned Chargers touchdown. The Raiders leaving Los Angeles with a victory. Welcome into Raiders Game Day, presented by America First Credit Union. Erin Coscarelli alongside my fullback, Marcel. Reece in the house, my cornerback, Eric Allen. What a way to finish the game with the defense, no less. But I'm going to ask you real quick, Marcel, quick takeaway. How good must that feel if you are the Raiders right now?
I mean, it feels amazing. I mean, we all feel amazing. The entire Raider Nation feels great right now. We're 2-0 in the division, and the most important game today was the game against the Los Angeles Chargers, and we came out of there with a win.
Yeah,
man, just great playmaking on those last two plays. Want to spotlight Mr. Johnson.
That's right.
Making it happen. Follow through. This is textbook cornerback play for all you young DBs out there trying to get it done. Never give up on the play. Mr. Johnson, congratulations.
You know what, though? They were having fun. That was what it felt like the Raiders were doing today in Los Angeles. We have a lot to get to on our show today. Here is what's on tap for you guys. An AFC West rivalry renewed. First of 3 divisional games for the Raiders. And look, Gruden, the Raiders post-game reaction, it's always good. And LA, their first and only Super Bowl championship, 1983. We're going to talk about it. Plus, a preview of next week's opponent, the Denver Broncos. All that and more on tonight's show. But first, let's take a look at the first half highlights as we go back to SoFi Stadium. The Raiders, for the first time, making a trip to Los Angeles there. Silver and black, 3-1 on the road. No Colton Miller, no Joey Bosa, but Derek Carr has Jalen Richard.
I love that route. Jalen Richard ran a textbook option route, the choice route. Stack the defender, give him one way, go the other way. That's
almost fell down.
It's great chemistry. Derek Carr was patient on it. He knew where he wanted to go. They had the matchup that they wanted, and here we are. Matchup nightmare right now.
Speaking of a matchup nightmare.
I mean, just the ability to be able to get on the edge and without being touched, you're the running back.
D-Book made it in the end zone, but look at Gabe Jackson and Rodney. That's a lot of mass running, sprinting down the field. And D-Book ran the right path.
Hey, at one point in the game, we were averaging 8.9 yards a carry. Come on now.
Come on.
Say it again, EA.
That's right.
All right, 4th and 1, second quarter we go. Chargers ball, Kalen Ballage with the 5-yard.
He just got on the Chargers like 2 days ago. So again, something we didn't prepare for. He had a pretty good game.
Game time,
there we
3rd
go.
and 6. Carl Nassib with the sack.
Get home. We see some pressure.
Look at all those guys.
Discomfort for the quarterback.
Working on that blitz. A loss of 8 yards on the play. You want to see that. 3rd and 1. Josh Jacobs, a 14-yard touchdown run. Alec Ingold would get injured on this play, but the score
week in and week out. You don't think he could get any better, but he shows us something new every week. The body control, just the will to want to get across that paint and score the touchdown for your team. And he makes it happen every single time.
A lot of people thought maybe out of bounds. He was in bounds, and we go 1st and 10 to Mad Max.
With just 4 rushers getting to the quarterback, again, bending that edge, using those great pass rushing moves. You never want to be a one-hit wonder, so you throw the hands and you get him to react, up under, and get to the quarterback. Great job being strength, being flexible, pliable, getting to the quarterback. Man, and as a DB, the guy got ahead of you, but you know what? We're celebrating now because we got a sack.
Exactly.
5th sack of the season. 26 seconds left. Oh, Keenan Allen deep for the touchdown.
These guys are so talented. You can't afford to bust coverages right there. You can't afford to leave your zone, especially with a guy like Keenan Allen.
Exactly. There's one guy we do not want to let free. It was Keenan Allen.
And you don't want to do that. Carr with the strip sack. And the Chargers would find a way to capitalize. 5th fumble for Carr this season. And the Chargers find a way to take advantage and put up 3.
You know, we talk about turnovers and mistakes all the time. And you see right there a prime example of the worst timing and the worst placement to have a turnover. At the end of the half, already in field goal range, it's almost just, it is giving away 3 points.
Yeah, this really could have been a huge detriment for the team if we weren't able to come back from it.
I know what stands out to me as you're taking a look at our first half stats.
What is that?
What stands out to you guys first? EA, how about you?
Well, passing yards, you know, this is Derek Carr playing at a Pro Bowl level, 44. But you know what? 14, 17, our rushing yards are going to, you know, kind of pick up. But yeah, the 44 yards passing concerns me.
I see the 44 yards passing, but I'm not really worried about that. If I look down the next line, we have 97 yards rushing in the first half. But the time of possession doesn't really match up with the rushing yards and their time of possession. But that's the big number for me.
Okay, Aaron, what did you like on that?
It was time of possession.
Okay.
Because when we
You love
win
that time
ball
of possession.
games, you know I love that
time
time of possession. I love to run the rock. All right, Raiders down by 3 in the first half. We're going to show you how this ball game closes out. Second half highlights when we return. Don't go anywhere. I do like time.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Presented by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Week 9 showdown against the Chargers. You are taking a look at our Las Vegas Raiders headquarters, Intermountain Healthcare. Look, the first half didn't end the way the Raiders wanted. A strip sack, courtesy of Derek Carr, led to 3 points and the field goal. So I think it was 17-14 heading into the half.
Yep.
Do the Raiders make the adjustments to pull off
You
a
have
W?
a choice. You have a choice.
You have no choice. Let's roll the tape and show you how this game closed out and show you the second half highlights. As Raiders won the coin toss, which means Jalen Richard with the return.
Yes.
And the guy has wheels.
Yeah.
That's one thing I know for sure.
Wheels, patience, vision, and finishes that run. Now, see, back in the day when he came in, that's a fine. You don't get tackled by the kicker now.
Yeah, you're right.
44-yard run, good positioning. The Raiders looking to capitalize on that.
Hey, that's a dime.
My guy.
That looked hard to do.
You know what? He was really faulted last year with a lot of drop balls, inconsistency. He has really shown out this year on these kind of balls. Nelson Aguilar being the veteran in the room.
4
Great job.
touchdown passes, catches in 5 games.
Oh, I love when DC starts doing this type of stuff. That means he is having fun playing football. He changes his point of release by rolling out. He feels the pressure coming to his left, rolls out, and look at him here. Directing traffic and delivers an absolute dart to Hunter Renfrow. That is unbelievable chemistry between those two.
Yes, all the great ones know how to extend the play. This is the evolution of the quarterback position.
Speaking of evolution and extending the play, Carr's like, I'm going to just jump, air it out myself.
Again, and I hear people always, what is he thinking? Why would he do that? And that's the point. He is not thinking right here. And when he's not thinking, he is having fun. He is just
Look
playing
at the
football.
smile. He is having
He's reacting. He's playing really good football, really fun football, and he's efficient and explosive, and that's extremely important when you're trying to make a playoff run.
I mean,
those things on film are going to pop up and make the offense more successful.
Speaking of successful.
Then he sits back there tall in the pocket.
Flick of the wrist on this one here as the receiver really widens him, bends it in, and that ball is perfectly thrown for his guy.
Expert route by Darren Waller.
That touchdown put the Raiders up by 11 as we go to the fourth quarter, 1st and goal. Herbert with the 4-yard touchdown pass. That was not supposed to be a touchdown.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive by Herbert, though. Being able to roll under pressure, under duress, gets the ball out to Neighbors. Do I have to look down the roster and find out?
Yep. Gabe
He plays
Neighbors.
fullback, yeah.
Gabe
And,
Neighbors. Herbert would be injured on the play, which means Tyrod Taylor, the backup, would go for the 2-point conversion. Can he get it done? Nope.
That's called
Sorry
a
about
form
it.
tackle right there.
That is running.
That's a form tackle with all the buddies coming along.
That's what it looks like to see someone run into a wall.
That was kind of what it looked like. All right, 25 seconds left. Herbert doing rookie-like things? That is
hardly.
Impressive. Finds Mike Williams in the end zone. No good. Incomplete there.
Guys, this is the best in the game in this position. Big Mike Williams, big body guy. He goes up and gets this routinely off the DB's helmet.
Tries to find
Look at the guy. Look at Mr. Johnson. He's like, ref, no. I don't know why are you raising hands, ref? No.
But was he able to make the catch?
I saw it live too, Dame Dollar.
Shout out Damian Lillard.
Amazing job. I'm just so happy for Isaiah to be able to follow through with your techniques, not give up on the play, rip that outside arm down. Those are technically sound muscle memory things that all DBs have to go through.
I'll tell you, EA, when I'm looking at those last two plays, I feel like it just shows, it's a perfect example of what this entire team has been doing. Just never giving up, fighting to the end, and then we come out on top.
You're taking a look at the final score. Marcel 31-26. Derek Carr's numbers may not jump out at you. Didn't need to air it out. Had Josh Jacobs and the whole running back room taking care of business. Justin Herbert, 326 yards, 2 scores. And Keenan Allen with over 100 on the day. Coach Gruden caught up with the media after the game. Let's take a listen.
Well, we've won 4 out of 4 games on the road. We're missing both our tackles. You know, we lost our fullback. We're missing just several defensive backs came out of the game. The Chargers are playing for their life. They're a good, talented team. And just to summarize it, we're happy to win. We're just thrilled to win, and especially a game like that. Shows a lot of character.
John, what was the message to really step up this week, kind of like it did last week? Do you see it as kind of a spillover from what you saw last week, like you learned something about this team that you were able to take into this game?
Well, I couldn't be more proud. You know, it was a terrible weather game last week. We were coming off a loss to Tampa, and, you know, our guys found a way to win. Brandon Parker, like I said last week, didn't think he was going to play. He ends up playing at right tackle, and today he starts for the first time at left tackle. And Sam Young went wire to wire at right tackle for the first time, and we made enough big plays on offense to get out of here, and our defense got the one big stop that won us this game. And we know what we're in for as we get ready for the Chargers in our future. They have a talented young quarterback that never quits.
You had a young quarterback, Isaiah Johnson, that was contested there at the end. So it seemed like he played a pretty decent game coming out the bench for you guys.
Well, he did. I thought he got baptized today in the NFL. And Mullen comes out of the game, and Arnett's on the sideline, and we needed somebody to step up. Keyshawn Nixon hurt his groin. And thank goodness for Isaiah Johnson and his length. And like you said, you got to give him credit. We gave him a game ball, and we gave Brandon Parker a game ball for their work today as we were shorthanded.
Couple of game balls for the Raiders. Coming up on the other side of the break, Raiders didn't allow a touchdown in Week 8. How did they carry that momentum into Week 9? The guys are talking Raiders defense. When we come back, don't go anywhere.
Presented by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Raiders showing pressure, and they bring it. Herbert in trouble, and sacked back at the 6-yard line.
All right, welcome back to Raiders Game Day. Let's talk defense, shall we? Because we knew it was going to be a long day at the office trying to contain the second best offense in the NFL. But the Raiders had moments of pressure,
right.
Glimpses of it here and there throughout the game. What did you like, what you saw from the defense and what they were able to do today?
I thought today it was balanced. You had some good plays, you had some bad plays, but overall, it first starts up front. And I thought they did a really good job at times of getting after the quarterback with just 4 guys. And that's important because that gives you coverage on the back end because you can't blitz all the time. Because if you're blitzing your best guys, you're leaving tight ends on linebackers, and sometimes there's a mismatch there. But as you see here, and again, up front, these guys have it's never been about effort. They always get after the quarterback. Yes. They're trying, but it's just at times, sometimes they don't get there. Linebacker-wise, I thought Nick Wachowski backed up his game from last week, which I thought was great, with another great game. 13 tackles a day. Here's we see on the outside, never be a one-trick pony. Always work your way to the quarterback using multiple moves, bending, being able to get to that point where that quarterback is setting up. So again, the combination of pressure from the outside, that push in the middle was really key today, I thought.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I just feel like the defense played with incredible passion and energy today. And there's a guy right there. Yeah, I feel like up front, they feed off Mad Max Crosby, and you see he's working on his technique. He's refining he's mastering his craft on his technique. A lot of times throughout earlier in the season, we see him get close. He's just there, just missing the quarterback. It's good to see him get home today. That was really good. And obviously, Jonathan Abram. He's always playing with a ton of energy, and we're trying to manufacture a lot more pressure to give the opposing quarterbacks much more discomfort in the pocket. And I feel like we were doing that. We do have to get better at a lot of things.
Yes, we do.
Especially on third down.
Sure.
We have to make sure we're more sound and we're contesting every single catch that a quarterback throws to a receiver. There are some times where you see Keenan Allen get wide open, a few other guys get wide open, but guys are playing much better fundamental football on the defensive end of football.
Yeah, I thought last week, we were more detailed.
Yes.
I thought we executed better, techniques were better. This week, a little sloppy at times, and we got caught for it, paid for it a couple times. But again, the defense is continuing, making great steps. I think, first of all, stopping the run is so important, making teams one-dimensional on the end.
I think the 2 most important thing is, on the defensive end, our entire team, we're not giving up. We're not giving in to anything. You don't see anyone hanging their heads, EA. And also, we're getting wins. I always say it's much better to learn from your mistakes while you're winning football games.
I know that phrase. That's right. Well, 2 sacks on the day from the defense, one of them coming from Mr. Mad Max, and he caught up with the media after the game. Let's take a listen.
Talk about the whole last drive. You knew you'd probably have to make a play on defense to win this thing, and they put it in your guys' hands to do it, and just the ability to do that in the end.
Absolutely. It's not the first time this year. We had to do it in Carolina. We had to do it today. So, we love that. We thrive in adversity. Even though we make it a little bit too hard on ourselves sometimes, we just got to come out, with the win at the end. So we were fired up.
Max, that's halfway to 10 wins at midseason against one of the toughest schedules in the league. Do you feel good about where you are?
Absolutely. It feels great. We just got a huge win on the road. It's 2 weeks in a row. So we're fired up. We feel real good. But we have a lot of room to improve. So, we're looking forward to getting back in the building and keep working.
Max, you guys got a pair of sacks today and generated a bit of pressure, kind of got to Herbert a few times. What was working for you guys against this offensive line?
I think we did a good job of mixing it up. I think we won our one-on-ones, and I think we were relentless. We didn't stop until that final play.
5 sacks on the season for Max Crosby. Coming up next, we are going to the other side of the ball. Who stepped up for Silver and Black's offense? Don't go anywhere. We'll talk about it.
Third down and 10. Chargers bring in 4. Picked up. Carr with time. Launches for Aguilar. Behind the knee for the touchdown.
Back to the show. Silver and and Black taking care of business on the road, now 4-1 away from home. And you know what, Derek Carr, you get a game ball because you balled out, especially in the second half. And what's even more impressive is he was able to do it with backup tackles. No Colton Miller missing action for the first time in 39 straight games.
Wow,
and
wow.
so that was certainly shocking to have all those backup tackles. But let's take a look at what Derek Carr was able to do today, shall we?
Yes,
okay. This situation, going deep, finding Nelly in the end zone. He was slinging it deep, and he was throwing some chip passes.
That's like easy ups for DC right there. He's standing back there, looks extremely comfortable. Great route by Nelson Aguilar. Knife release, stacking a really elite cornerback in the NFL and tracking that ball. That ball is a hard ball to track, probably the hardest ball to track in the NFL.
Here's what I love. I love the ability to be able to extend the play, get outside the pocket, continuing to elevate his game. And again, understanding how the pressure is coming, not looking at the pressure, but feeling the pressure. So he knows now he can escape outside. He sees the coverage downfield, points, throws. I mean, just overall, just his presence. He's playing
one of those
really
things
high level quarterback.
Elite quarterbacks do when they scramble and extend plays. They keep their eyes downfield to see if someone breaks open, just like he did to find Hunter Renfrow.
And look, 3rd and 10, he just says, I'm going to take it myself and run for the first down. He has 9 of those, I think, first downs with his legs in 5 games.
Every aspect of his game is at a top-notch level right now, guys. I mean, we point to all the great quarterbacks who are playing in the game. He's right there with them, doing everything that they do.
Plays like that, Costco, do so much for your team. Everyone else is looking and saying, my leader just risked his body and health to make a first down for us.
It just seems like DC is taking shots down the field more than ever, and he's, like you said, running the ball, and he just seems as though he's so much more confident now than you've seen from DC. But, it was a tale of two halves. First half, take a look, 44 yards passing, a little different. Second half, 121 yards and 2 scores. Mr. Carr caught up with the media after the game. Let's take a listen.
I think the thing that is so exciting to me is that we've won games where we've had to throw it for 300 yards. We've won games where we've had to rush it for 200 yards. And it is fun, man. This is a fun group because depending on what we're seeing and depending on the adjustments, we can win in a lot of different ways. And really proud of the guys that have stepped up. Really proud of our coaching staff for getting those guys ready. That's sometimes when the starters get all the reps, the other guys are forgotten about during a game week, but not here. I mean, everyone is coached as if they're a starter, and we've needed it, obviously, so it's been cool.
Eric, that pass you had to Hunter on the deep pass to Hunter on the scramble, is that the kind of thing that maybe you weren't as comfortable doing the first couple of years under John and that you're sort of growing into at this point?
I think it takes time just learning the system, Josh, being honest with you. It reminded me a lot of a ball I threw to Michael Crabtree in Jacksonville, where I scrambled to my right and, threw it to him on a go route. And that was just comfort in the system. Where guys are going to be at certain things like that. And as you learn the system, you can play faster. You can get through progressions faster and be able to extend plays. And so absolutely it's helped just being in the same system because I can now, get through my reads faster, get out of the pocket and either run for a first down or – we're being able to throw for big plays is really it's going to help our offense, especially on a stretch run.
Being in the system for 3 years, Carr is definitely showing that he is comfortable with John Gruden. All right, coming up next, we're going to show you what else happened in the NFL. Week 9, big storylines and scores. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Presented by San Manuel Casino, official Southern California casino of Allegiant Stadium.
Welcome back into the show. Erin Coscarelli, Eric Allen, Marcel, Reece with you. It is time for scores around the league, brought to you by Sports Water. Here's what happened in Week 9. Things that jumped out to me. Seahawks lost to Buffalo. Allen had 3 passing touchdowns. Ravens beat the Colts. Titans were able to beat the Bears, and it only took Ryan Tannehill.
Hold on. You see that score at the bottom of the screen? 38-3. That's what jumps out to me. Wow. 38-3.
What jumps out to me is Carolina Panthers and Kansas City Chiefs, 31-33. The Chiefs did end up coming to win, but that tells me that the Kansas City Chiefs are vulnerable right now. They're vulnerable. We got them once. We're going to have another opportunity in a few weeks to get him again. But someone else can knock them off again. We are in place to win this division.
We are.
Oh, yeah.
We are.
We could do a clean sweep.
Yes, for sure.
Of the Chiefs, because we got them in 2 weeks. You're absolutely right. We'll talk about that. Speaking of which, let's show you the next 4 games.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, who of the next 4 make you a little nervous, guys? I know nobody makes you nervous.
I'm not nervous. This next 4 weeks make me excited, EA. If you look at it, EC, we have 2 divisional games back to back. Really 3 in a row. Three divisional games, 3 in a row. Week 9, which we just finished with a win. 10 and 11. We have 2 more opportunities to win divisional games. And then we go to Atlanta and go to New York. I'm excited for this team to see what we can do.
Sure.
The last few weeks, if you look at it, we have seen our team, our Las Vegas Raiders, win in different fashions.
Different ways.
In with the offense on the field, in with the defense on the field. And it's a special thing because this team is learning how to win, grinded out games.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's all about checking those boxes off throughout the season. So when you get in those difficult situations late in the year, you're able to harken back to, week 8, week 7. Hey, we won this way, we won that way. DC was just talking about different ways of winning. Sometimes you need the running game. Sometimes you need the passing game. Sometimes you need great defense to come up. We've seen all of those. So this football team is well-rounded now. So it really doesn't faze me, any of those teams, rest to go.
I feel like the hardest part was the first half, was the first slate of games for us, and the second half gets substantially more difficult. Of course, you have the Chiefs in 2 weeks. But when we come back, we're going to talk unsung hero of the game. Who was it? You got to wait to find out. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. This week's Intermountain Healthcare Impact Team of the Week is the Las Vegas Junior Raiders, comprised of players aged 5 through 14. The Junior Raiders strive to not only be a successful youth tackle football program, but also valuable members of the community. They will be hosting their yearly clothing drive for those in need on November 10th and 12th, as well as the food drive to feed the homeless on November 22nd. Congrats, you guys, on being named the Intermountain Healthcare Impact Team of the Week. How cute are they? I love hearing them make impacts on the field and off the field. And speaking of impact. Our unsung hero of the week last week, it was Daniel Carlson because he had 9 points thanks to his leg alone. This week, we are giving it to our big-bodied running back, Devontae Booker, getting some love, led the run game with 8 carries, 68 yards rushing, and a touchdown, guys.
Look at, he's just doing the right things at the right time, and that's what you want for your backup running back because he could be starting on a lot of teams, EA, but he is playing exceptional football for us. Every time his number is called and we need 2-3 to make a play, he makes plays.
I like the fact that these guys know their role.
Yes.
And I think they perform better. Hey, you get in, you know your role, you got to be you have to make sure you're a positive example when you know your role, getting it done. Love the way he's able to get it done.
It says a lot about 2 things. One, his individual preparation, that he doesn't know how many carries he's going to get, but he prepares. You can tell every single practice as if he is the back. He's going to get 100 carries because he's running all types of different runs between the tackles, outside the tackles, running routes, pass protections. You can see him do everything. And it says another thing about this running back room because you see Jalen Richard contributing every time he gets on the field. He has a huge package on 3rd down. He contributes on special teams. And obviously we haven't talked about him enough today, but Josh Jacobs. JJ, we could talk about him every single week because he does everything for us as the bell cow. But D-Book, I'm proud of him because at first, there's a lot of people who didn't think he was going to make this team. But he's a big part of this team and a great weapon for us on the offensive end.
Yeah, it all starts up front. Rodney Hudson and the crew always getting it done. To be able to pull your center and your guard left and right, he's straight arming linebackers down the field. Really excited about this offensive line is done.
But EA, this is not some guy who just got thrown in there. These teams prepare for D-Book, and we are talking about an 8.5-yard average every time he touched the ball today.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Come on now. Unsung hero, Devontae Book, baby.
Well-deserved Devontae.
Congrats, 2-3.
We know the DB needs to get some
he's a running back because he's getting so much love. He deserves it. But
and you want to give it to a DB. You both are the same.
You didn't have to.
But it is impressive because you're right. Gruden called it a revolving door up front because of all of the backup tackles. Everybody, having to play new spots, different positions, and then to be able to deliver like Devontae Booker did. And we talked about it. Did we think that maybe Josh Jacobs would be held back because he had 31 carries last week? We talked about that before the game. And we saw Booker show up.
And that carries number is as a collective whole. We need to run the ball more. And we've made a concerted effort to run the ball more. And listen, we could give our offensive line the unsung hero every single week, and also Tom Cable, because they prepare like no other. It's been a revolving door. We don't have our big bookend tackle, any of our tackles, but everyone is stepping up and playing great football. Parker, Young, all of them. So hats off to all of them. But today, D-Book 2-3 is our unsung hero, baby. All
right, it is time for Under Further Review. Gentlemen, I'm going to throw out a topic. You guys are going to chop it up. And since they played the Chargers today, we're going to talk about a rivalry renewed. What is the best sports rivalry in history? I'll go first. I went to USC. Bob and I were watching the USC game. My dad, Bob Coscarelli, shout out to you, Dad.
Oh my goodness.
USC-UCLA is the best sports rivalry. I'll go with you, EA. Top that.
Best sports rivalry. I'm going to go Lakers and the Celtics.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a great rivalry. Magic and Bird. You got McHale. You got James Worthy. You got the Skyhook Kareem. That's the greatest rivalry.
I'm biased, and I'm going to say this. The best rivalry, aside from anything Raiders, I got to go Celtics and Lakers too.
That's right.
You guys didn't even choose something unique?
It's just historic. We chose a real rivalry. You just victory bell? Come on, what are we talking about, EC?
USC, UCLA. All right. Look at you. New playoff format, which means 7 teams from each conference are going to go to the playoffs. If you are a player in the NFL, how do you feel about that? Because only the one seed actually gets the bye. Marcel, I'll start with you. How would you, if you're an NFL player, feel about that?
I don't think I mind it at all.
Okay.
As long as I'm in the playoffs. Just put me in the playoffs and let me play some football.
Spoken like a true player. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good deal. The more teams you can get in, particularly a year like this where you see so many good teams right now. The Miami Dolphins are playing pretty good, got a great defense. Of course, Raiders are playing well. So there's so many teams right now that are playing well. I think that the extra team is going to add some extra juice for our playoffs and for that time of the year.
And also, EC, when you look at it, this year especially, 2020 is so bizarre. You have so many other things going on. No training camp, no real off season. So I think this was a great year too, if we were going to do it any year, to add more teams and give them the opportunity to get into the postseason.
To compensate for what they lacked in the beginning of the season.
Competition-wise. Compensation.
Right. There you go.
Speaking of a weird 2020, we just surpassed the election, November 3rd, and it made us think if you could have a teammate that you would nominate as the president of the United States, which teammate would you nominate? How about you? Why don't you start, EA?
For me, it wouldn't be a teammate. It would be my old coach, Buddy Ryan.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah, Buddy was such a great American. Served in the military. He was a loyal guy, and he loved the defense. Like, we would sit in the front of the plane,
You guys were like first class.
Oh, first class, offense way in the back. That's probably why I didn't win
Buddy Ryan coached one of my college All-Star games, and he was a character to say the least. That's a good one.
That's what you want, right?
I like that one. I have 2 guys that I think of, teammates off the bat. One, Nnamdi Asomugha.
Oh, yeah.
He was just extremely sophisticated. At all times.
Does Broadway.
At all times. Everything.
That's amazing.
But the other one is Khalif Barnes, 69, played right tackle, played really the entire spectrum of the offensive line. One of the funniest people you would ever meet, and was just an extreme people person. Still one of my best friends today, and everyone would love him at present.
There you go.
We got to bring him. We got to bring him on the show.
Leaf, let's go. Come in studio.
Who are you going to pick?
I don't get a say in this
What
segment.
Come on, EC.
USC-UCLA is still the best rivalry, okay? When we come back,
that's not even the best rivalry in the Pac-12.
We're going to take a look at the first and only team to bring a Lombardi trophy to LA. Don't go there. Welcome back to the show. A huge last-minute win over for the Chargers Week 9, and since this week's battle is against LA, we thought we'd travel back in time for a moment because the great Al Davis message to his players and coaches was very simple. Just win, baby. And during the time the Silver and Black called Los Angeles home, they not only won over generations of fans, they also brought a Lombardi trophy to the City of Angels for the first and only time.
1, 2, 3. I'm number 79. I feel the sunshine when I play in fear. I got a big bald head, that's what I said. And my nickname is Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
One of the most vibrant eras of Raiders football took place in the City of Stars. From 1982 to 1994, the Raiders called Los Angeles home. And throughout those 13 seasons, some of the greatest Raiders suited up in silver and black.
Allen over the top for the first down.
You see Howie Long on that play?
And Bo Jackson to the 20. There goes Bo.
It was an awesome time to be a Raider, to actually suit up in silver and black and go out there under the stadium and just see the fan base. The fan base is amazing.
Touchdown Raiders!
Jump in.
I thought LA was fun. I thought it was exciting. I told the players, this is going to be an exciting time for you because this is a different venue. Your job here is football and being and helping us win. But enjoy yourself while you're here.
Hey, but I haven't gone Hollywood, have I?
See you there.
Anybody says anything about this after we leave this studio, I'm taking names and kicking.
The Raiders' tenure in the City of Angels was highlighted by one of the greatest victories in team history.
Super Bowl 18, a matchup between the two best teams in the National Football League.
30 minutes of football and it's all ours. There's no let up. Let's go.
During a dominant performance at Tampa Stadium in Florida, the Raiders' defense sacked Redskins quarterback Joe Theismann 6 times and held Washington to 9 points.
Goes up after it. Hayes has it blocked. Touchdown Raiders.
It was a game loaded with electrifying plays, including Marcus Allen's famed 74-yard touchdown run.
Bucket giving to Allen, sending him wide left. He has to reverse his field, but he gets away for a moment. Comes back up the middle of the 30. Waits past 2 minutes to 50. Down to the 40. Picking up a blocker. Holy Toledo!
Since departing from LA more than 2 decades ago, the Silver and Black's residency in Los Angeles remains a memorable chapter in the history books for one of the most storied franchises in the National Football League.
There you go, 1983 Raiders, the second best record. The Redskins had the best at 14, I think, and 2. But when you look at this team stacked with talent, top to bottom, offense to defense, when I mentioned the 1983 LA Raiders, Marcel, what stands out to you?
Ooh. I got to go with 2-1, baby. Cliff Branch. I mean, you could go up and down that roster and name your favorite guys. There's so many people that, we grew up with and we're saying, that's my favorite player. And they're all on that team, stacked roster. But I'm going with 2-1 Cliff Branch, one of the fastest receivers to play the game, great ball tracker, should be in the Hall of Fame right now, a mentor to me and so many other people. 2-1 Cliff Branch.
Yeah, well, of course, coming from San Diego, Marcus was, the favorite son of San Diego, but the cornerbacks on that football team, Mike Haynes, maybe the best cornerback ever in history, and then Lester Hayes shutting it down, 13 interceptions one year. Those 2 guys kind of shut it down and locked it down. Those were great Raider football teams.
Yeah, and coming into that Super Bowl 18, they were expected to lose against the Redskins, and they took care of business, 38-9, I believe the score, affectionately called Black Sunday.
Yes.
Super Bowl 18, the Raiders taking a W there. All right, when we come back, we're going to show you next week's opponent. They have a date with the Denver Broncos. Don't go anywhere. Raiders game day when we return. Welcome back to the show. Raiders keeping it in the AFC West and take on the 3-5 Broncos next. You guys are giggling over there because you know we pulled off a W today. Both of my guys feeling good. Marcel, Reece, right. Eric Allen in the house. EA, I'll start with you. When you think of the Broncos, maybe the record doesn't jump out at you, but what should we be concerned about next week with the Broncos?
Well, they have a very athletic quarterback who can make big plays with that arm, And young rookie at receiver making tremendous plays. Drew Lock has been able to make tremendous plays with his legs and his arm. So he has to be someone we focus on.
Absolutely, yeah, that's all true. But again, this is a division rival. So anything can happen. We have to play sound football. I want to see energy. I want to see passion. I want to see guys, everyone's eyes to be right, offensively and defensively. I want us to make some more big special teams plays for our team coming out this week, because we have to start doing different things so we can be prepared for the stretch in this playoff run.
And look, we learned today that the 2-5 Chargers, their record does not indicate their level of play, because when you play an AFC West opponent, we'll talk about that in a second, you need to be worried about it. Drew Lock had a career-high 313 passing yards, and he led the team in rushing yards. And what I was saying earlier, when you play an AFC West opponent, it is different, right, Marcel?
It's absolutely different. The atmosphere is different. Even though you don't have fans and packing out stadiums, the atmosphere is just different, because we genuinely do not like any of the teams in our division. We don't want to give them an inch.
That's right.
Not an inch, EA.
Got to watch out for little Phillip Lindsay. Phillip Lindsay's a hard runner. Does well, got Gordon from the Chargers last year. So they're a capable offense, so we really have to be on our P's and Q's.
And they will be looking to beat the Raiders right now, who are 2-0 in the division. But before we play Week 10, we cap off Week 9 with a little Monday Night Football action. Jets taking on the Pats. It is time for Who You Got. I'll go first, because the Jets looking for their first win of the year, and they'll get it against the Patriots.
EC, come on, what are you trying to do, EC?
Look, my record 7-3. I'm looking to take.
There's a lot of people down on the Patriots, but they have two gamers still in Bill Belichick, and Cam Newton is a former MVP and still a gamer. There's no way they're going to lose to the Jets on Monday Night Football. Going Patriots.
It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout.
You calling blowout?
The Jets right now are going to be looking for a head coach and a quarterback next year.
Joe Flacco is starting. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Sam, and again, this football team is in terrible shape right now, and the Patriots are going to get back on that horse.
It's one of those games where you can see Bill Belichick hyping his team up and giving them a little more confidence to make them feel a little better than they actually are, to give them a little push to get a few more wins throughout this season.
Well, if you are the Raiders, you are certainly feeling good. Week 10, you're heading into Week 10 at 5-3. Real quick, how should you feel if you are a Raider fan right now?
You should feel happy, you should be excited, and you should be motivated, just like the players, because there's still a lot of work to be done to win our division, but we are in place to control our own destiny, and we need to get better while we win.
Because we haven't played our best football yet, guys.
And that's the most exciting thing.
There's so many opportunities defensively, offensively. Ruggs didn't catch a ball today. I mean, so there's so many chances for us to be much better as a football team. And like you said, it's much better to learn those mistakes while you're winning.
Absolutely.
So again, we're continuing to build, making our team better as we're winning.
And then get healthy. We still have a lot of nicks, a lot of guys down and hurting on the injury report. We can start to get healthy now, especially when you have a Thursday night game, because it's like a mini bye. Because we start to get our O-line back. We start to gain more depth in that. And then, like you said, getting Henry Ruggs III involved in our game plan. John Gruden gets a little more comfortable. Then we start letting it go. You see DC's already getting comfortable.
Yeah, he is.
He's there.
He is. And we already checked off that first box as we took care of business against the Chargers. That'll do it for us. We'll see you next week, Week 10. Don't go anywhere. Bye, guys.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Brought to you by Modelo, setting the gold standard for authentic Mexican beer since 1925. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Raiders. Twitch, the official live streaming partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.